when we create our own toxicity. Not great news for the baseball season and our favorite Muppets.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello and welcome to a Tuesday. It is July 28th, 2020, day 29? No, it is day 291 of Gotta Get on Ellen. One more day till the big speaking event. Gotta tell you, I'm getting a little grouchy about the whole thing. I'm not as prepared as I would like to be. Doing some practicing, and I'm forgetting a lot. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little worried. Now, on top of all of that concern, I'm getting kind of a sore throat, a little bit of a scratchy voice, because I'm doing a lot of practicing. Tea with honey? Is that what I should drink? Tea with honey? We'll see. Wish me luck. I've got a day and a half to prepare. Getting real. You know, I have to try and get a head count today. Now they're worried there's going to be too many people. And when I say too many people, I mean like 20, which I'm ecstatic about, obviously. Not an enormous amount of people, but apparently the biggest gathering they've had at the Foundation for the Arts and Sciences all summer long. So we have to make sure that the proper social distancing precautions are in place. So I have to make that a project today. I've told a bunch of people that they can register at the door. However, it's hard to keep track of the people who are registering at the door. So wish me luck. I need some really good vibes for my practice for all day today and leading up to tomorrow night. It's going to be a big day. I think I might take off on Thursday. We'll see. I may not have a voice left. So, in other news, baseball season, at least the Phil's on pause right now. Same for the Miami Marlins. After 13 of the Marlins tested positive for COVID. Yeah, we all called them big babies for, not wanting to play. And here we are, first weekend out. 13 of the Marlins are now COVID positive. So the Phillies were supposed to play the Yankees last night, and they postponed that game as they await test results for the Phillies players. Yeah. Making me really nervous about football. Really nervous. So we hope that everybody is okay and wish for a speedy recovery for all. We've been in the news a little bit around here. About 25 of our lifeguards on Long Beach Island have tested positive for COVID because they apparently had a big gathering, off the clock. They had a party or something, and there's like 25 of them now that have tested positive. So there's at least 25 lifeguards that are out of commission. We're being told that there is not a shortage, that it's all good. I don't really go to the beach much, but I know a lot of people are. A lot of people heading to the beach this year because people are not traveling like they typically do in the summertime. Walmart announced last week that they will start closing their stores on Thanksgiving Day. Target has now announced the same. I love this. I think this is great. I don't understand why we can't not shop for one day. For people in retail, it's just awful. I used to work at a mall. And when I first started working at the mall was closed 4 days a year. It was closed on Christmas Day. It was closed on New Year's Day. It was closed on Easter. And it was closed on Thanksgiving. I don't know why we can't go 4 days a year without shopping. Not to mention, you can online shop now anytime that you want. So, I don't know. I'm glad that they're bringing it back. I just have always really felt for these retail workers and restaurant workers that have to be working on family holidays. So hopefully that's changing back now a little bit. Excuse me, with Walmart and Target leading the charge. We shall see. I think that COVID probably has something to do with it. We're now so adjusted to shopping online that it's not that big of a deal to us anymore. I'm going to talk a little bit about this, too, in today's blog post. I mentioned yesterday that the Muppets are back. That's right. As of Friday, they will be new episodes on Disney+. So I was wondering who your favorite Muppet was. I didn't really put a lot of thought into this. I kind of chimed in because nobody was really commenting, which always concerns me a little bit. So I chimed in with Kermit because, who doesn't love Kermit? Come on. He's Kermit. Michelle says, I was not really a big fan, but I'll go with Kermit. Joe says Beaker. Megan also Beaker. Lynn and Joe both posting gifs of Animal. I think Animal is a favorite. The two old men. Marcy says, yeah, they were hysterical. I don't know their names, if they even have a name. Michelle says the Swedish Chef. And then we have 2 for Miss Piggy. Yeah, she's kind of a diva, right? A little bit of a diva. Like I said, my voice is starting to give a little. Not good on the day before my speech. When I still have a load of practicing to do, I guess I will have to mouth it. Try not to speak it out too much. Going to move right along to today's blog post. We're going to talk about when you create your own toxicity. I put up a little quote here that says, I thought 2020 would be the year I get everything I want. Now I know 2020 is the year I appreciate everything I have. There is no question 2020 has been a rough year for all of us. But are we making it worse than it has to be? Are we taking everything we have for granted? Are we forgetting how much we do have while longing for what we have to go without? This is a time when we should be focusing on what we have instead of what we have lost. We get more of what we focus on. That is a fact. If we only focus on what we don't have, it will seem like we have less and less. If we try to focus on what we do have, and I know how tough this can be sometimes, we will realize that most of us have it pretty good. We tend to take so much for granted. If we can train ourselves to stop doing just that one thing, you may be amazed at how blessed you feel with what you already have. When it comes to our current situation with COVID, think about how much worse it would have been if this happened 20 years ago, just 20 years ago. In the early 2000s, we didn't have smartphones. Can you imagine having to tap out each letter like in a text when we first started texting, or not having text at all? We could be in a position where we don't have Wi-Fi or Netflix. What would this situation been like without all of our Zoom gatherings? What would it have been like if so many people didn't have the opportunity to work from home? What if we didn't have so many entertainment options to keep the kids occupied while we did what we needed to do? What if we didn't have online shopping? What if we didn't have Amazon to just go on and get everything that we needed that we forgot to get at our weekly grocery trip? What if we didn't have Lysol wipes? We have a ton of conveniences right now. And we need to stop taking so many things for granted. As a former pessimist, this was the hardest thing to change for myself. I only ever saw what I didn't have, so it was hard to feel blessed with what I did. Because what I did have, I took for granted. I just assumed that the things I had in my life were a given. It was the least possible that everybody else had. That is really far from the truth. Once you realize that just by living in this country, we are so much more blessed than the majority of the world, you will be on your way. It's so easy to take things for granted. When we are in self-wallowing mode, we don't even want to recognize what is good in our life. But if we start with the bare bones, a house, utilities, food, clothing, it's truly a chance to feel blessings you've never even considered before. Because all that we have here in this country is not a given for so many. Focus on what you have instead of what you don't. I'm telling you, as a former pessimist, this is the key to changing your perspective and your life. The more you appreciate, the more you will be finding to be thankful for. Just look around you. You are likely surrounded by things in your home that you lovingly picked out. You have your favorite foods in the fridge. You likely have a number of TVs, a computer or two, a couple of streaming services, a tablet, e-reader, smartphone. But yet you think you have so little in your life. Stop. Stop taking all you have for granted. We all tend to do it. That's why it's so important to step back and see all we really do have. Oh, it's Taco Tuesday, y'all. I'm going to try and save my voice a little bit. So you go and grab a taco and take a little time today to count your blessings. Now, go out there and be a badass. You know I'm cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
One more day.